Yep. So while we were filming the previous episode on Tuesday, literally while we were wrapping up, Mariah May pops up on my TV, debuting in NXT. And so that's pretty cool. So former AEW Women's Champion Mariah May has officially debuted in the WWE. She appeared on a kind of elevated spot in the crowd on the June 3rd episode of NXT. She declared, "I'm going to be the next NXT Women's Champion." And WWE referred to her as Glamorous, a nod to her nickname, The Glamour, but they did not use her name on air. So there's no confirmation yet as to whether WWE plans to rename her, but that's what they did with Ricky Starks when they renamed him Ricky Saints. They didn't say his name. But Fightful reports there are no issues using the name Mariah May, as her real name is Mariah May Mead. So they can use her name. Whether or not they're going to remains to be seen. We got a little bit of details on her exit from AEW. She was removed from the AEW roster just days prior to her debut. We had just covered that. I think on Sunday's episode was the same day she might have been removed, or might have been the day before. We talked about that on an episode recently, is what I'm saying. The AEW sources told Fightful that May did not leave with any heat, so she left on good terms with the promotion. AEW was definitely interested in offering her a new deal, and most people in AEW knew that she was WWE bound and had made the personal life adjustments ahead of time. So the contract and the timing, Fightful confirmed that May signed a multi-year WWE contract. As to how many years that is, they didn't say, because they didn't find out, I guess. I don't know. Her AEW deal had expired right at the beginning of June. So literally on the 1st. WWE moved fast. Her debut was kept tightly under wraps. Even the other women in the segment were only told minutes before going on air. Only a select inner circle knew of her status ahead of NXT. This is one of those instances that they swerved everybody. I mean, everybody knew that she was going to end up in WWE, but nobody knew she was debuting last night. It didn't get leaked out. In the era of information coming out like this, the fact that they were able to keep her debut a surprise is crazy, and that's awesome. And a lot of people are saying, well, why NXT? And the WWE insiders expected May to debut in NXT, not the main roster, and that's due to the recent call-ups from NXT. They just brought up Stephanie Vakir, Julia, and Roxanne Perez, so that depletes the women's NXT roster quite a bit, because those are three of the biggest women players that were in NXT for a while there. So, they got to do a little bit of rebuilding on the roster. And Mariah May had long expressed her love for WWE on social media, dating back to before her in-ring debut in 2018. And she's wrestled under her real name her entire career. And there's additional notes here that don't really matter, but fuck it, we'll talk about them anyway. Fightful also noted that Abaddon and Bear Bronson's AEW contract expired around the same time. Unlike May, Abaddon's profile remains on the AEW site even after confirming her departure. So that's all of the stuff from the segment. It's cool that she's in WWE. She's going to be a huge star there, and their women's division is really stacked. What did you think of all this, TJ? Did this surprise you? Did you think she was going to be debuting on Tuesday, or I had no idea.
Well, not Tuesday, like you said. We all knew that was going to be the case, but I want to do like a little rewind here, and you'll have to bear with me on the exact specifics because I either don't know them or can't remember them. So we come back and, she debuted in AEW probably like a year and a half ago, like, I don't know, 18, 19 months. And, she started working with Tony almost right away. And Tony was kind of a heel then, but she was getting like big reactions, so they eventually turned into her face pretty quickly after that. Mariah May was her protege, started copying her, started coming out, like doing the different phases of Tony and all that. You remember she was doing, different gimmicks that Tony had done through the years.
Yeah, with the little under the eye paint and everything.
Yeah, and I think she turned on her after like 8 months or something. Again, don't know the specific details, but she ended up beating her with the shoe after she won the Owen. And then she ended up winning the title from her. Was it all at All In 2024? Or I'm not sure, but either way...
she had won the title from her and had it for a while, and then Toni Storm started acting weird again, and then she went back to
her run with the belt was very uninspiring. Toni didn't really seem to have any plans for her, and she just kind of had like a couple, like, I can't remember the feuds. They weren't great, and I'm sure anybody, no matter how diehard of an AEW fan you are, could probably admit that. She's talented. It's no fault of her own. She did as best as she could, but the roster to some extent is limited, but I don't know. It could have been better. I think you'd agree with that too, Dave. And it's always been her dream to do this. So regardless of if it was good or not, she would have probably left, even for less money, for WWE, because she has way more potential there to be a bigger star. And it should be nice seeing what she does there. They have a very impressive women's roster in NXT and WWE. It's the best women's wrestling has ever been in general at any point in time in the world right now, and all around, not just WWE and AEW as well. There's never been a secondary promotion that's had the women that had the talent that AEW does now too. So overall, a lot to be excited about if you're a fan of women's wrestling. And historically, I haven't ever been, but there's a lot of chicks that I'm kind of interested in now that I kind of have never really been that way before. So that's a positive trend, and I'm sure a lot of other people feel that way. And it should be pretty cool to see the feuds that some of these girls that are coming in, like Julia and Mariah May now, even though she's older than Julia, and the mark that they're going to make and where they'll be 8 years from now, and what their legacies will be in the industry. And I just thought it'd be cool to do the little rewind on her AEW career. But we're not done. So she ended up losing the belt to Toni at a pay-per-view, and that was her last night. I think it was Revolution. And it was like the finale story between Toni and her. Like you said, Toni was acting weird, was acting like her old first gimmick when she popped up in AEW, and then fooled Mariah May when she ended up
she was acting like she had amnesia or whatever.
Yeah, but then she was like, she got attacked by Mariah May after she won the #1 contender sting, and then she went back to her black and white gimmick, Timeless, and then ended up beating her. And then that was the last time that she showed up. And
March of this year, I think.
Yeah, we even did a short on it, and we've talked about it a little bit before. But overall, good stuff. And it's a positive for WWE because they got another pretty talented female in the works for them.
We'll get to finally see Tiffany Stratton versus Mariah May.
Yep. Two top blondes. Well, I don't know. Toni Storm. That would be the ultimate signing, I think, for WWE. But maybe one day. Maybe not. But
Tony needs to do everything that he can to keep her in that company.
Yeah, they're fucked if she leaves.
Also, I think that WWE would neuter part of what makes Toni Storm.
But it would still work for them over there with how they could...
Oh, yeah.
The theatrics that they could do that doesn't go on in AEW.